episode of Unapologetically Asian.
where we navigate through adulthood as Asian Australians.
Today you're joined by Tiana.
River.
Spring
Tim,
and Machi.
Woo! Woo! Well, hello guys.
Hi.
Welcome back to another
Hello.
episode. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are in the world. I hope you're starting or ending the day with good vibes only. Today we have 4 absolute Muay Thai superstars on the couch, Machi included. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
How exciting. I'm actually
I'm
nervous.
really excited.
I got nervous really quickly.
You-
Sorry.
No, River's like, how exciting, but he
Yeah,
said
I
it in
was
the
like,
most
no,
serious
I'm-
way
I was thinking
ever.
I'm
Now he's
excited, now I'm
dying.
nervous.
Don't get him
I
excited.
can't
He's gonna start
move.
doing like jump knees or something. Calm down.
So, for those of you who don't know, I started Muay Thai this year at Sakari in Preston. Shout out Buck and Caroline.
Hi.
Woohoo! And yeah, when I entered the gym, I saw these 3, absolute athletes in the boxing ring, and let me tell you,
You're an
they're
athlete.
very, very impressive. So today I thought it'd be awesome to get to know you guys a bit better, learn more about Muay Thai, spread the love of Muay Thai, and also spend this time to roast Tim as well.
what?
I like that bit.
So first things first, let's try to ease you guys into it. I'm gonna ask you some.
You're warming up. He's warming up to roast me
Let's
back.
go sweaty.
Okay.
Getting ready.
So there is a fight, and it's between Ip Man, Ong Bak, and Jackie Chan, and Bruce Lee. Out of these 4 people, who do you think would win?
Me.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Actually,
Ip
if you fought
Wait, Bruce
like,
Lee, because he's like
any of them,
yeah, Bruce Lee.
who'd you
Well,
fight?
Ip Man in the movie or the real Ip Man?
Oh, that's a good
one.
one
Oh.
too. That makes sense.
Wait,
Bruce
was he
Lee.
a real person?
But
Yeah,
the-
yeah,
no,
yeah, it's a
no.
real person.
Ip Man taught Bruce Lee.
Yes, Ip Man did teach Bruce Lee.
Really?
No, but he surpassed him though. So
Yes, and Bruce Lee
There was
created
no
his own
proof, though.
style.
yeah.
After.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
used Ip Man.
I'll
But they
fight
hated
Bruce
each
Lee.
other. That was
Yeah.
a movie. That was
was
like
a
Ip Man
movie.
2 or 3.
Okay, so rank them out of them 4. Rank them on who would be number 1, down to 1, 2, 3, 4. So Bruce Lee's number 1.
Well, for me, because I want to feel the
Jackie
1-inch punch.
Chan?
Like I want to feel how hard it is. Pretty much.
I was thinking like Ip Man. No, Bruce Lee. Maybe Jackie Chan. Ip Man.
Jackie Chan's still alive. That's why he wins.
What did I say? Ip Man, Ong Bak.
Oh shit, Ong Bak's so cool too. But he doesn't really.
But he's like a movie character.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, it doesn't really
They're all
fight.
movie characters.
Bruce Lee trains, no?
He's a movie character too, though.
But he's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, let Tim rank his, and then you guys all rank yours.
Alright,
Go,
alright.
Tim. Who?
I got Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Ip Man, and Ong Bak.
Oh, what about you, Spring?
Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. Wait, was that the same as yours? Oh man, Iman and Ong Bak. Oh, we're not
Poor
friends.
Ong Bak.
Oh.
Okay, your turn. River.
Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
Ip Man. Yeah, Jackie Chan and all that. I
good
agree.
Yeah, good to
I
know.
agree.
We're all on the same page.
Who'd you fight then?
Yeah, who would you fight?
All of them. Why not?
No, like,
And what would you do?
you have to pick one.
Like,
One dead or alive, who are you fighting?
Bruce Lee.
Yeah?
Yeah, just to know,
Same.
cause like he
Bruce
seems
Lee.
so strong. And
Yeah. Because like I want to feel the
Yeah.
power.
He's also so smart.
What?
Have you guys seen videos of Bruce Lee talk?
Yeah.
Really?
He's
Yeah.
he's so smart.
Yeah, it'll be cool to just like to feel that intensity. Like,
Like, he's smart.
mm.
Is he smart?
He is smart.
What does he talk about? Be water.
Yeah, like he's very philosophical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Who would you fight? Who would you like to elbow
Oh,
to the face?
Ong Bak then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because it's for Muay Thai fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they all do different martial arts, don't they?
Yeah.
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 So wait, what? So we got Bruce Lee. What's Bruce Lee? Karate?
No,
It's
he's
like
got
his
his own
own
style. Yeah.
Style. What's that?
Was it creator of Kung Fu?
What's that Ip Man one? Like, where they like smack
Wing
the wooden
Chun.
post?
Oh,
Oh,
Wing
Wing
Chun.
Chun.
That's alright. Yeah.
Mine's
Yeah,
Wing Chun.
yeah.
Yeah. And then so
Jackie
that's
Chan
Jackie
is what's Jackie Chan? I don't know. Kung Fu.
I think
Kung
just
Fu?
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. Yeah. And Ong Bak's Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, the ice has broken officially.
Yay.
We all feeling comfortable now. We're all feeling good.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Hmm.
How would you fight them?
Okay, let's keep going. How do we? how? What is the
Moving on.
strategy?
How would you fight them? Oh, this is hard.
Now you just
I
teach
don't think
everybody.
Ombak's fought.
In
don't-
real life.
in
Yeah, but
real
you're
life.
fighting the character.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Man,
okay, sorry, one sec. So, Ong Bak.
I just
is
kidnapped
that-
his elephant.
Tony Jaa is his name.
It's Tony Jaa, yes.
Tony Jaa is his
Right.
name. I
So,
just
and
remember
he's
that.
Thai.
Yeah, it's Thai. Do you know one of the trainers was in Colin? What's his name? He was part of Ong Bak. Oh, what's his name?
The movie.
Yeah. He was the big Australian guy in the film that Tony Jaa fought
In the
first.
bar?
In the bar.
Oh,
The guy with the
wow.
long
He's
hair. What was his
Australian.
name? He's
What?
Aussie. He was
Curly hair.
Yeah. Ah, if I could.
I didn't watch the movie.
No, he was. That was a good fight scene.
He.
Damn, that'd be crazy to be
yeah,
like an
he's
extra
in
in a
Melbourne.
movie.
He was like, yeah. What was it? He was in
Okay, we're
Fruit
doing a
Cat.
live
Wait,
fact
I'm
check.
looking this, I'm looking
Well,
And
We can move on while River fact checks, yeah.
That's okay. Wait, okay. We'll come back to that at the end, guys.
My bad.
All good. So there's this one Muay Thai event called Roots, and that inspired the first question about going back to your childhood roots. Do you guys see what I did there?
That's good.
Yep.
So let's hop in a time machine and take me back to what it was like for you guys growing up Asian. Like, tell me about like your cultural background. Did you discover martial arts as a kid? What was that all like?
Oh.
Who wants to go
Yeah,
first?
who's going first?
Oh, as a kid in Australia.
So you're. Why don't you say like that you're Vietnamese or whatever?
I'm Vietnamese. I started martial arts just for fun. I was like a little fat kid coming home from high school, and there was like a gym every time I got off the tram line. It was just there. So like one day I just decided to walk in and started training. That's all. That's how I started. But my parents hated it. She thought I was just doing it just to lose weight, which I was at the start. But then when I came home with like a black eye and stuff, my mum's like, what are you doing? She wanted me to quit
Oh,
pretty much.
really?
Yeah.
What about your dad?
My dad too. He didn't
Oh.
like it as well. But he's more quiet, my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So like you literally started off. It was just like a health thing.
Just a health thing. Yeah, I played heaps of sports when I was younger too.
Yeah.
I like played footy, soccer, and like a lot of school sports as well, like rugby and stuff. And yeah, I was always into sports. So
How old were you?
young. Like when I started Muay Thai, I was 15,
Oh wow.
but I was playing sports since I was like probably 8, 9, yeah. Young. Where did I start?
Yeah,
Muay
what-
Thai?
What gym?
Oh, Preston, Yoshin. Yeah, in Preston.
Is that where you met Buck?
That's where I met Buck. So I trained for a year, and then Buck came like a year after, and that's when it started like getting a bit more serious. So like I remember, oh good, I did my first like kind of inter-club like, cause it was more like a karate gym before Buck came, but there was good Thai trainers, like real old school ones, and the owner put me into like a random like comp kind of thing, and I was like really heavy back then. Oh, fat boy. But I got beat up pretty bad. I don't know why. I just kept going for some reason. I was like, yeah. After I got beat up, I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, why am I keep doing this? But I just kept competing after. So yeah, that's my story.
How much weight did you lose?
So I remember the heaviest I ever was probably like 93 kilos. I'm probably sitting at 81, 82 right now. Just
Cool.
yeah, walking around. So you could imagine how pudge I was. Like a pudgy, Tim. But I won all my amateurs though.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
It was just like the interclub. I don't know. I just got smacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, explain what an interclub is for, like, I guess new people that don't know.
It's like when you go to like another gym and like you spar, but it was kind of hard sparring, like controlled sparring, kinda, but it wasn't really that controlled. So you'd kind of just get smacked around if you weren't good. Yeah.
And how do you said your parents were a bit more like conservative, I guess, and
Yeah.
didn't really like you participating in Muay Thai. How do they feel about it now?
They still hate it. No, I came home with I remember I came home with these bandages on my nose. My mum thought it was just like to cover the black eye. But then I removed it. It was all stitches and she almost killed me. She almost gave me more stitches.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So have they been to one of your fights before?
Never. My mum's like, if I go to your fight, I'm jumping in the ring and smacking the other guy.
Oh,
I love
Worry
that.
for the
That's
other
so
guy,
good.
yeah.
That's the best.
That's so sweet. Yeah, get Mama Nguyen in there.
No.
Okay. New question: who do you think would win at a fight with your mum, Bruce Lee?
My mum would
Oh,
kill
wow.
him.
Your mum?
My mum would
Mum
kill
win
them
all of
all.
it, yeah.
Really?
She get that broomstick out, when you're a young kid and you're not doing homework, she's that broomstick. She pretends to sweep, and you're playing games instead of doing homework. Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that.
no problem.
I think that's good insight into like you as a fighter and you as a person as well. What about you, Spring?
Yeah, I was born in Malaysia and I was there until I was 18. First martial arts experience was 9 years old. Parents signed me up for Aikido classes, hated it, but I just kind of like stuck at it because I was forced to. Then I started taking it seriously around like 14, 15 years old. Started teaching Aikido. So yeah, that was like until early 20s. And then ex-partner brought me to Thailand. He wanted to do Muay Thai. I cried. Like the first time I did it was just too violent for me. And I hated that I was so bad at it that I continued. And yeah, that's how I still am doing it today.
You hated it so bad that you wanted to continue?
Yeah, I was like really upset with myself that I found it so confronting and I found it so difficult.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I have to push myself and,
Yeah.
like overcome these emotions that I'm having. And also the fear of like confrontation and the fear of like feeling weak, I guess. Like, I just didn't like all those feelings. So I was like, all right, I gotta just keep persisting until like I'm better at this.
You guys are shining a really bright light on what we do right now.
What do you mean?
I'm just being sarcastic. Like getting smacked and there's a lot of
But I
positive
think
things
it's
to martial arts, right?
Like there is positivity, but I think Muay Thai is really confronting. Like, as a girl or like someone smaller, like it can be a really confronting experience.
I think I can relate to that a lot because when I got your back, sorry.
Thanks.
I relate to that a lot because to be honest, when I first started, and you guys know that I'm probably not going to end up in the boxing ring.
We don't know that.
Maybe not anytime soon. But I'll be honest, the first time I started, the reason why I did Muay Thai was because I wanted like a fun way to keep fit. And I was picking out of Muay Thai and boxing, and I ended up choosing Muay Thai because the shorts were really cute.
Cool.
That's honestly the
Cool.
reason why,
Cool.
right? But then when I went into the gym, I think I instantly fell in love with the community, and I loved how welcoming everyone was and how patient everyone was with me, even though like I was a complete noob. And I think something that I found really surprising as well was just like how much strategy and how much like technique is involved. I just
Yeah.
thought, oh yeah, you just go in and, you know, throw a couple punches and kicks. But yeah, there's a lot to learn, and that's what made me really excited. I was like, oh, there's a new challenge. Like,
Yes.
and
yes.
like at the big, and I'm still trying to be more confident, but at the beginning, I was definitely very, very like shy and like, you know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna look funny doing this, but everyone's in there for a different reason.
Do you get hurt? You don't get hurt now, right?
Like, you know, I bruise easily.
It's just harder because she's so much smaller. Like, yeah, like size-wise, you know.
Especially if I'm up against like
yeah, if
a
you're partnered
really
with
big
like Tim,
dude.
for example, and he's hitting
I
pads.
never hurt.
Tim's like, I've got self-control.
Tim just makes fun of me. How did you get started, and like what was it like for you growing up?
Oh, sorry. I grew up in the east side of Melbourne. Like to me, played a lot of sport growing up. I actually played tennis, and I think I was started Muay Thai when I was 18. I guess I'd played tennis for about 10 years then, and I was just a bit over it, but I was looking for something new. And then one of my friends was like, "Oh, I do Muay Thai." I was like, "What's that?" And then he showed me a video of ball cow. I was like, "That's actually really cool. I'll give that a shot." I walked into the gym, and I think I just fell in love with it. Really, growing up, like I have siblings, and we just played a lot of fighting games, and I think just boxing was just a part of my life unintentionally, but we just used to just, as boys do when you were younger, just like scrap a lot and fight a lot. And um, yeah, me and my siblings are very, very competitive, and just one thing that we were good at or was not fighting each other, but wrestling. Yeah. Yeah, and I fell in love with it because I was quite gifted when it came to martial arts. So beating people just became something that I ended up doing unintentionally and intentionally. Yeah, yeah.
And what gym did you start off at?
Started at Hammer's Gym. It was in Nunawading on the east side, and yeah, had a pretty good career with them all the way up to just recently, which I've now moved over to Thailand to commit myself fully to Muay Thai. But yeah, I was with that gym for about 10 years now, and whenever I'm at home now, I'm still at Buck and Sakari's gym now. But yeah, it was definitely, it kept me on the straight and narrow for my adolescence or just my young 20s when I could have gone down any route. But not saying that I was ever a bad kid, but I could have gone anywhere, and this is where I went. This is where it's taken me so far.
No, thanks for sharing that. I think that's interesting. Like, I think that a common misconception about Muay Thai is that, or like any type of, I remember like UFC or anything like that. Like I'd always be scared to watch it because I'm like, oh my god, people just get bashed or they get hurt or whatever. But then Tim, it was actually when I went to watch your fight, I was like, wow, this is actually really cool. Like, yeah.
Thank you.
It's actually really cool because there's a lot of, it's not just like, you know, the actual act of hitting other people, but there's like a lot more strategy and like it's like a dance in a way as well involved in Muay Thai, which I think is cool. Do you guys think there's any other like, I don't know, myths or like associations people have with Muay Thai that you think aren't true? Or
Yeah, when I started working, and like I didn't tell anyone that I fought Muay Thai. So this was before I became an electrician. For like probably 2 years when I was working at Harvey Norman as a pickpocketer. No one knew I fought Muay Thai until like I got close to with one of my managers, and then like I'm like, oh, I got a competition, this week, and I can't work this week. And he's like, what do you mean? And it's like, yeah, I just do Muay Thai. And then he's like, what? You don't look like you fight. Yeah, and like everyone always thinks like I'm just really nice. Like they don't expect me to be a fighter. Like a lot of Muay Thai fighters are just people, like real nice people, and like a lot of people expect them to be like tough, macho, and all that. But really, they're not really at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's a good point.
Generally with like martial arts, especially martial arts people, we don't like to fight. I think after like being in the gym and actually being, I guess, in combat sports for so long. On the outside of all of it, confrontation is probably the worst thing, honestly. Especially we walk around and we don't look that confronting, and then the everyday person, you question more now. You're like, oh, maybe they just have a skill set that could really really hurt me. You just question that now. So yeah, we become a lot safer, a lot more, I guess.
Discipline, you think?
Yeah, even just like calm,
Mm.
like everyday general, yeah, just walk of life. But no, like if I ever see like a street altercation, it's like, wow, okay, that's happening. Okay, maybe we should step away from it. But at the same time, I'm not panicking, or we don't panic. We're like, that was a good right hand, but yeah, we should probably get away. But no, I think that's a really big misconception, that people who do martial arts generally have like an insecurity about them with their confidence, and they want to pick that up, and I don't know, just walk around and just have, I guess, know that you've got your own back. Yeah.
What about you, Spring?
I think I have to agree with that. Yeah, I think there's a misconception that fighters look a certain way or behave a certain way or have to be combative or violent like 99% of the time. And that's really just a really small portion of who we are. And a lot of us fight not because we like violence. We fight for different reasons. And like, you could be testing yourself, or you could be a competitive person that wants to be good at this sport, or you might be doing it because you like winning, you like being in front of people. So yeah, a lot of the reasons isn't actually violence. And I think as time goes on, we find that people who are very seasoned in martial arts or seasoned in fighting actually become more at ease with themselves, and they become better people. It's not quite the other way around, where you kind of see like fresher newbies in the gym, I guess. They're probably more violent than us and like have less self-control. And then the more seasoned they
like
are,
me.
the more seasoned they are, like, it's unlikely that you're going to get hurt from one of us, and more likely that you get hurt from someone new at the gym. Yeah.
I think that's definitely a quality that I see in you guys as well. Like,
Thanks.
yeah, like after like a sweaty gym sesh, like you guys are so down to earth and like incredibly like, yeah, kind and sweet, which I think is really good traits to have. And I definitely also see that in Buck as well, who, shout out Buck, is our coach. Our
Yeah.
trainer. Yeah.
Like, Buck is a perfect example of it. He's
Yeah.
so nice, and like, he would help anyone.
Yeah.
And like, he would take care of anybody that comes to the gym, but at the same time, he is capable of hurting someone.
Yeah.
If he was put in that situation, or when he's fighting in the ring. Yeah.
Let's kind of talk about any like pivotal moments in your Muay Thai journey or career. I think you guys, Tim, you kind of mentioned before that you did a couple of fights. You like slid in a bit of a subtle brag that you won all of them. Do you have any like distinct memories of, maybe it could be your first fight, it could be your first loss? What are some distinct memories that really have shaped your Muay Thai journey?
Oh, this is good. This is a good question.
Good
Damn.
question. There's a few pivotal moments. My first professional, because I was just winning all my amateurs. You get a bit big, you get a bit big-headed.
It must be
Yeah.
nice. To
And
win
then I remember my first professional fight, Tim Davies at 75. I'm fighting at 70 kilos now, but I was 5 kilos heavier, and that guy was so tall. And like, I walked into that weigh-ins and I just looked at it and I'm like, shit, man. Like, am I really fighting him with no shin pads, no head guard, no nothing? Like, 14-ounce gloves? No, 12-ounce gloves? Or 10?
10 per fight,
At
right?
75.
Particular.
Still
Wait,
10.
so what does that mean with the gloves?
It's like the ounce, like how thick your padding is on the gloves. So like, when you get to professional, it's 10. I think heavier weights are 12.
I thought it was always 10.
No, we fight at 8.
We
like,
fight at
when we're
8
smaller,
kilos.
but
I think it
because
might be
Tim's a bit
10.
heavier,
I
he
think I
been
might
fighting
be
at
at.
10.
All right, thank
Tiny
you,
bit
Spring.
heavier.
Thanks, Spring.
He's also stronger.
True. Thank you. Yeah, that was my first loss, and that kind of like, it kept me in check. Like, You know, like you gotta train harder. You gotta just nothing comes easy. You always gotta push. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can imagine that if you have a winning streak, like that can like one like your ego is so big that you're like, oh yeah, like this will be easy, the next one will be easy. But then I can also imagine, would that add pressure? Like, are you like, oh, I've won so many, this one's gonna be.
I guess yeah, there is pressure to it too, of course. Like obviously River,
Yeah, let's talk to River, who's like,
like
only
who
lost
was
like 2
like
fights.
bloody.
Yeah.
I remember when I first. I don't know. I remember him being 30-0,
Yeah.
30 something and 0
So River
until recently.
River only lost 2 fights, I think. 1 boxing fight and 1 Muay Thai fight
Whoa.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
last year.
in the last year.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
had like
Crazy.
35 fights. So
Whoa.
that's a very clean record.
Yeah. Does that stay with you, like your record, like across all of the different fights, like that carries over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait,
Does it?
wait.
I think so.
What do you
my
mean by
boxing
box?
record stays?
No, boxing separate.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Muay
but
Thai,
Muay Thai
Muay
is-
Thai,
Yeah.
Muay Thai,
Yeah.
kickboxing, anything professional. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
What memories do you have?
Um, a lot. I don't know. Good, bad.
What sticks out to you? We can do a few, but what sticks out to you? And then like when you think about Muay Thai, you're like, oh, this is definitely a big part of my journey or my career.
Oh, I would even say like this year has been massive. So a lot of decisions needed to be made, like to take this as seriously as I could. Was it? I feel like I'm at the twilight of my career, so I'm 30 now, and it's more like this is roughly around the time when fighters start to retire. And I had the option: do I continue this any further, or do I actually put all my seeds in one basket and give it everything I got? So then, at the start of this year, I was given an opportunity to fight on one championship, which is a um, global promotion, which was always a dream of mine. And that's when I suffered for my first Muay Thai loss. But yeah, this year I would say has been a pivotal moment for, I guess, for just my career, even my mental, just my headspace. Like I've taken it this far, so I wonder how far I can take this, and also because I've taken it this far, I wonder what else can I take this far as well. So it's more like, okay, my career in my mind is actually coming to an end, but I also feel like the next part of my life is also going to be quite big because I know I have this back in me as well. So
Yeah. And,
that's a positive light. Yeah.
and you got that drive as well, it feels like
Yeah.
the
yeah.
determination. What was the loss like for you? Like because
Uh,
you've never lost before. Like what was that like? Were you
Thanks, guys.
What
Thanks,
was
guys.
the loss like?
What was the loss
Please
like?
let me know.
Like I know what losing feels like.
So yeah, I think it was back to back. I had back to back losses, right?
No,
No?
you didn't.
No?
You lost the boxing, you won
You
the
was
Zach,
sparks.
and then
Yeah. Well, losing. Well, like losing and winning, generally people always put more pressure on me and would always ask me, how does it feel to be undefeated? How does it feel to have won everything and all that? But generally, in the moment of all of it, training, and it always just feels like I'm just worried about that fight. Like not necessarily, I don't allow my previous things to get in the way, but it's more, I'm always just focused on what's in front of me, in a sense. So winning and losing, like honestly, my first like feeling of loss was probably my second fight. I drew that one, and that's when I felt all the feelings of loss before even walking in there.
Oh wow.
So I was doing things, only in hindsight now, but like I was doing things and acting like a loser. I'd already lost that battle before actually walking into the ring. And then after noticing all of those feelings, noticing all of those like habits and actions, I would just do the complete opposite. So one of them was generally if I feel cold or I feel weak, I will stop moving. So I'll just sit down and then just curl into a ball, and hopefully no one looks at me. But then I would instantly try and fight that in my next fight and be like, okay, this is a feeling of me feeling weak. So I just try and do the complete opposite. And just over time with each fight, I would just battle the one insecurity or one fear that I had before in the back, and then just try and clean that up before walking in and having to perform. It worked all in my favor, and then the stakes got higher, things got a lot harder, and then you just had to go back to like your little playbook or your little notebook of things that you've done before to put yourself in the best mental space before you need to perform. And then luckily, I wouldn't say that like every fight was a easy fight or hard fight. It was just like it just always fell in my favor, I would say. Yeah, and then as things kept going on, I just kept going back to my little book of in my head of like things that would make me feel better about myself before having to go to work. Yeah.
I think that touches on a really important part that I wanted to bring up, which is about how there's a real connection between your physical and your mental, especially in Muay Thai. Like you've got to be incredibly resilient. You've got to be incredibly strong in your mind as well. Like physically, when you train for a fight, you've got to, obviously put in the hard yards so you can get your fitness up and that type of thing. But also it's like a mental game as well. So that's really interesting that you've like touched on that point about how, you have this mental black book where you kind of go back to it. You every fight kind of teaches. It feels like every fight taught you something as well, right?
Yeah. We were talking about this when we went overseas to Peru. We did a hike 4 days at Machu Picchu, and then like I think because we're always surrounded by like-minded people who just enjoy testing themselves in like very tough situations. We were surrounded by like, I wouldn't call them everyday people, but just people that we just generally wouldn't talk to. Like we had a civil engineer who was 64 and retired. We had 2 people on their honeymoon who were like, they were like, maybe is this something that we like to do, or we just enjoy having the vacation? They were just doing it for the first time. But then for us, we just enjoy, I guess, putting ourselves in that stress. And I guess when getting to like the difficult situations, you just see all of us excel and then carry everyone else through. But then that shined a light on that this is where we excel at, and that there are limitations to other people. And then I would say that just brought us more confidence. It's like now going back to what I said before was I feel like I can do anything just because of all the tests that we've put ourselves through.
Oh, that's amazing. What about you, Spring? Any moments? Pivotal moments?
Look, I think Muay Thai for me has always been mostly a mental challenge. Like, yes, physically, I'm not athletic.
Oh, what? Are you serious?
No, I'm really unathletic. Yes, actually, yes.
I don't know about that. She's got abs. You haven't felt your own push kick?
You're
so strong. What are you talking about?
So bad. Like if you ask people that've known me from the start to now, like these guys actually haven't met me when I was at my worst. Like my strength coach.
But it's not who you want now.
No, but like I don't know, like Tim, like when I was trying to tell River yesterday, it's like I was a little bit pudgy, like when like maybe 10 or 11. And I always feel like I'm that kid, like I always kind of feel like inside me I'm still that little bit pudgy kid, and I can't seem to like shake it. Like maybe on the exterior it looks different, but inside I feel the same way.
I was gonna say on the exterior, no, you're like you're like a boss bitch. I'm like, oh my gosh.
No, inside goals. Like I'm always like mentally, Muay Thai for me has been the most challenging thing I've ever done. I think probably why I'm still doing it, because there's always mental challenges that I feel like, I haven't overcome that yet, But yeah, pivotal moments, I think like in a positive light probably was my most recent fight, just because it was something that like I really wanted to achieve, like fighting and winning at Lumpini with Fairtex, with the coach at Fairtex. And it was just like a cool experience, like fighting, and I like kind of look around at the corner and like the whole Fairtex team, people that were fighting on one the night before were like cheering. And for me, it was just like, oh, that's so surreal. Like this is cool.
Yeah. What is that like? Like tell me about when you guys fight overseas, right? Like so I've heard these terms thrown around like
Mm.
training camps and that type of thing. So what happens?
Like when you're preparing for a fight, I think it depends on what gym you go to. So there's a lot of gyms in Thailand, and some gyms are more for like hobbyists, people who are like enthusiastic about Muay Thai and they just like training Muay Thai. So the gym's focus isn't too much in preparing you for a fight. And then there are gyms that are more fight focused, and I would say Fairtex is one of those kind of gyms where everyone is a fighter, or it just seems to be like everyone is fighting. So the training is really kind of like structured around preparing you for a fight. Like the training regime, the way they talk to you, they're a little bit like rougher with you. They're not so nice to beginners, so they don't take the time to like break it down for you. They kind of expect you to be at a certain level and be ready to compete. So depending on what gym you go to, that's the kind of experience that you have. And whether or not you fight, that's completely up to you. But in like the Thai boxing or like the Muay Thai culture in Thailand, they kind of expect everyone to fight. Yeah, because it's like, well, why not? It's just a sport, It's like we play football on the weekend, so like you should be fighting, you should be testing yourself. And then training camps, they just vary. Depends on like the length of your camp, like how long are you training for, your experience levels, and then where you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight in like a local show, like the level is a little bit more like not so elite. You have like the harder promotions, like one, which is hard to get onto, one to like fight on one, and then the risk level is very high as well. So depending on where you are, you may or may not want to put yourself through that, So yeah, that's kind of like my little summary.
So cool. And yeah, because you guys both went this year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes. Was one champion where you got? Oh my god, I can
Yeah.
see. Okay,
I can see the scars.
I can see the scars.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I might put up a picture here for you guys to
Oh
see.
God.
But
This guy.
River, like he got out. Like okay, we were talking about this the other day about getting elbowed. So your elbows are like actually very like pointy, and it's a what's the word? and it's a very like strong weapon in Muay Thai.
Oh, it
And-
like hurts a lot.
Yeah,
Mm.
and so you had actual cuts under your eyes.
Yeah. Actually, okay. I had this one, 12 stitches. 6 stitches.
Wow.
This one was 2, and then I had another one here that was I think 4. Yeah. But then how many stitches do you reckon you got over your fights?
I got a-
Oh, that's a good
I got a
good
bit
question.
as well.
Yeah.
I forgot how many stitches, but over 10 for sure.
Yeah, I
Over
think I got
10
like
stitches.
24 overall. And then the last fight, I also had a broken orbital and a broken nose.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was bad.
But
My
you
mother,
won
my
though,
mother
so
was
that's
not happy with
important.
that one, for sure. She
Oh.
was not happy with that one. She's
Wait.
like, why are you doing this? Why?
Yeah, so I think I remember us talking about it, and you were saying that like when you finish your round and then you go into the corner, and then like you would spit blood back at. Didn't
I
you say
remember
that, Tim?
Yeah. So it was like I forgot which fight. It was I think both. What's the guy that fought again from New South Wales? Hugh O'Donnell, where he got me in the nose here. He split my nose here, right in the middle. I thought I broke my nose too, but I think it is a bit deviated. But I was going to the
If
corner.
you look closely.
Back. I remember trying to wipe me, and I was just spat all this blood into his face.
Wait, why? Because
Because
like
it was just running down my face. I was just like
Oh, I did the same. You remember I did the same to, what is his name, Mitch, during my first interview. He was like, "You're just spitting blood all over me." I was like, "I'm so sorry."
Well, there's blood going everywhere.
This is
So
like
you can't help it,
Yeah,
you
you
know.
can't
You
help
just
it.
like,
yeah, all the sweat, the blood, everything. Have you been injured, Spring?
Oh well, yes, actually.
yes.
So the same night that Tim got all those terrible cuts,
Yeah.
like he was bleeding, you couldn't really even see his face. I had like this tiny little one on the side here, but I was freaking out because I hadn't been cut before, and I was scared because of the needles, right? So I'm running backstage and I'm like, "Oh my god, like I'm gonna get stitched up!" I'm like, "Hold my hand, guys, hold my hand." Everyone's just like, God,
Mind
this
you,
is great.
Timmy's like,
Yeah,
butchered.
like Tim is just like
Here,
he's
cut here, and
blue
a cut
black.
here.
You can't even see his face anymore, and I'm like, you can't even see my cut.
And then
Like,
Yeah.
and
Spring,
I'm just
Spring
like,
is like this. So she's like,
yeah, I'm like,
So the
I'm
cut is
full
probably
freak-
this big.
Yeah. It was tiny, but I was so scared because I'm scared of needles.
Yeah.
So
And
I
it's
was
in your
sitting,
face too.
I was sitting next to Tim and sitting next to Hugh, and both of them were like bleeding badly, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm making a big deal out of it, and then I look at Tim and his face was like, Like he's like, spring.
Like,
Don't
get it
talk to
together,
me yet.
girl.
Like, don't talk to me right now. I'm having a hard time. Like, okay.
Oh my god. Wait, so they actually do the stitches backstage, don't they?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
straight away?
Yeah.
Wow. And but because you have so much adrenaline running through your body, do you feel it or no?
Yes.
Wait,
Oh,
wait. Which part?
Wait.
When you get hit
When
in
you
the
get
ring.
stitches or when you
Oh,
get
both,
cut?
both.
Oh,
So when you get hit,
stitches, yes. In the ring, no.
You
In
feel
the ring?
I
what are you
definitely
talking
feel
about?
it.
You feel everything.
I definitely feel it.
Well, I felt something come down my head. I was like, oh, that's not good.
No, I feel like it's like a something sharp, like a like a quick
Yeah,
burn.
like-
It's like
Yeah,
and then you're just
yeah.
like, oh, that's cut for sure, and
Yeah.
then you
can
just feel that
it like coming
the
down
warm
your face.
blood coming
yeah,
down your face.
Yeah.
oh
You're
my
like,
god.
oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I don't know. See,
Did you feel the?
Oh yeah, I knew my face was smashed. Yeah, yeah, I knew. I was like, yeah, okay, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
When he hit me with that elbow, I saw 3 of him. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
that was-
aim for the middle?
I just.
I did.
What was I doing? I was wobbled and I was walking towards
You
it.
almost fell
Oh my
on that
God.
elbow.
His fight was so stressful. I swear, I
For
feel like
you
I
too,
died.
yeah.
Like I think I died and
Because
got
were you
resurrected.
watching from backstage?
No, no. So I got kicked out from backstage just because his first fight on one, I freaked out so much that everyone was like, "You're terrible backstage."
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
have to
wow.
not be backstage anymore. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then his second fight on one, I was like, I'm gonna sit in the crowd.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was just dying,
Oh my
like
God.
just screaming into like probably nothing. And, like, yeah, because he dropped the guy in the first round, so it was good. That's great. Good for us. And then second round and third round, there were some moments where it looked like it was gonna sway the other way, where he got hit hard and it looked like he was wobbling.
It was a full movie.
Yeah,
Like, it
so
was like a
we
9-minute
were all
movie.
screaming like, "Don't you dare go down!
It was a
Don't go
9-minute movie.
down! Keep standing, no!" Yeah, yeah. So yeah, basically. Yeah, so I don't know. Like there was people sitting next to me, and I became best friends with the guy. I was like, "Oh my god!" They're like breathing exercises: inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty
Right.
dramatic.
Okay, wait. So no, because it is dramatic. Like you're getting, like your partner's on stage getting hit. Of course, you'd feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious. When you're in the ring, okay, and then you know you hear the Thai music also in the background. Do you hear us in the crowd screaming or cheering you guys on? Do you hear the cheers?
When you first start fighting, you don't hear anything at all. But then as you fight more, like get more fights, you get more comfortable in the ring, and you don't get as nervous. So then I do hear, like now I'm at a point where I do hear the crowd,
Oh,
and I
really?
do hear my corners and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Well, Tim also has had a really good run of like knocking people out. So it's
What?
like in a good way. Like
What?
he's like
No
a
way.
like he's
What?
known as
Really?
like a knockout artist. So
Yeah.
like
Like-
he gets the crowd going, and everyone kind of already assumes that he's gonna like knock out the other guy. So yeah.
Wait.
That does put a bit of pressure.
I was gonna
too.
say, does that put pressure on you?
For
then?
sure.
Yeah. So you're known as a knockout artist, but you're also known as the Rhino, I hear. So how did you get that nickname?
It was actually one of my coaches, other coaches from Senshi in Tomo, Theo.
Shout out.
Shout out. It was his actually old coach's nickname. And like it's because of my aggressive style as well. So it's like, just call the Rhino. He just told Sai, I was like, yeah, it's Tim the Rhino now.
He just like run through his opponents. So yeah, like, he just takes them out. Like, move out of the way, or you're just gonna get knocked
It's
out.
very
basically.
fitting.
It's very
Well,
fitting.
what,
Yeah, it's
what
very-
would be your nicknames? If
I don't have one.
All right,
but
let's
River
give s-
has one.
Can we give Spring one? What would you guys say? Is Spring's
Mountain goat? Or the llama?
I like the llama.
Oh, that's cute.
But llamas don't
Llamas
fight.
Llamas are so docile.
That's
and
what
cute
I
though,
mean.
Yeah.
Maybe something more aggressive.
What's Rivers?
Filipino Flash.
Filipino Flash.
The Flash.
Yeah, take a guess
Oh.
why. Take
Are you
guess
fa-
why.
he's fast?
Yeah, he's really
Because he
fast.
flashes kids at the park.
Hey.
He's
Hey!
really, really, he's really
Hey.
fast. Like Tim's strong and like powerful, like definitely hands. He's so fast. Like he can hit you with like 50 strikes in like 10 seconds or something. Like
Wow.
yeah, annoyingly fast.
ADHD.
Yeah.
And what about Spring? Come on, compliment Spring style.
The teep queen.
Like,
It's out of fear. Like
Everything
stay away from
hurts.
me.
Yeah.
I think that's why I tease. Like I don't want people to get too close to me. Like yeah.
You're like the fencing sword, the really pointy one. That's what it feels like.
That's
she's
a good
a
one.
she's a sharp sword.
Oh
she's
my
a
God,
sharp.
I
Sharp.
wish.
Yes. You're very sharp.
maybe I'll get more aggressive as time goes on. I
Yeah.
hope. Yeah.
What's it called? I remember when I first joined the gym though, everyone kept saying, "Oh my God, Tiana, you have to come watch Tim." Like, oh my God, he's like Tim was the
Wow, look at
Tim,
you.
Wow.
Tim is
Really?
Tim is the
How does
superstar.
that make you feel?
Tim is
I'm
like
so
the
honoured.
superstar of our gym. And then and then I went to watch you, and I think it was the first rebellion. I can't remember.
Did I lose or
Yeah.
win?
That's
Did you
okay.
lose?
Who
Was
was
that
it?
the last one? The last rebellion?
No, I think it was the one before that. It's the one before that.
Did you lose the which
No,
one?
you
It was
had
for the
draw.
belt.
Oh.
That's for the belt.
Versus Alfie.
Alfie
Yes,
Smith.
yes.
Yeah,
That
was
was
a
but
good war.
it was a
That was a
really good
good
fight.
fight.
It was a really good fight. So like even though you
Oh
didn't
my
win,
God, that
it was
fight.
such a good fight
That was a good
because
fight.
I was so impressed but so amazed at how like you would get smashed to the ground, right? And like
Say it
and,
again.
like,
Say it again.
you were like
Say it again. Say it again.
you were smashed to the ground.
Oh,
And for me, I would stay on the ground, but somehow Tim got back up again. There's that song that goes, you get knocked back down and you get up again. Like that was Tim. Like, and like every time you got knocked down, you'd get back up, and it would be like, oh, you weren't even touched. Like you were just fine. And so I just want to ask, like, firstly, what's going through your mind, and secondly, how do you train physically, but then also mentally to be so resilient and like to keep going?
I think it's more like a mental thing. The pain's always gonna be there. Like, I was hurt, but you just try not to show it. Like, I was like, that was for a big fight too. That's for like a belt as well. Like,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I can't lose. I'm not losing. Like, everyone's here watching me. I gotta fucking win this belt. And I was like, I got knocked down twice. I remember. I was like, this cunt's fucking knee hurts so much. But like, I remember he cut me, and then the second knee I was down, and I was just looking in my corner, just blood dripping. I saw back was like, get up, and then I get up, and he's like, good work. Just thumbs up.
Aw.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like a mental thing. Like, you just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it more the drive to like? It sounds like you didn't want to disappoint everyone, but also it sounds like you didn't want to disappoint yourself as well.
You definitely didn't want,
Yeah.
like, it would be such a big pivotal point for me if I won that belt too. But it was also a big, like, that fight also taught me a lot of things as well. I don't know what it's like. What did it teach me? What did it teach me?
Taught me a lot of things. I
Taught
don't
me a
know
lot
what
of
they are
things.
actually. Like what?
About
like
myself.
Yeah.
Like, I can push. I can,
Yeah.
like, really, like, push myself in that situation. But it kind of also destroyed me mentally after too, you know, getting knocked down like that last round. I remember I was like, fuck, like, man, that knockdown. I was just so upset after that for a while too. Yeah.
How do you like? I guess when you're at that mental point, that mental state where you're quite low, how do you pull yourself out of it? Because I think it's like really important, especially in our culture, right? Like as Asians, I feel like we don't really talk about mental health or like our feelings or like all of that often, and it's something that like I think is really important because everyone goes through struggles. But how do you think, like, what helped you get out of that dark place?
Took a while. Like, obviously the holiday helped. The holiday we went on definitely helped.
Where did you
Wait, the
go?
one we just went?
The one we just went.
Wow.
Peru.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cute.
Oh, well, it was hard. Like, I don't think I should have taken that next fight with Jason. Because, like, I just wanted to fight. But mentally, I don't think I was fully there
Recovered.
yet.
Yeah, that's so. I'm actually shocked because, like, going back into the gym, I knew like after a loss, like you might feel a certain way, but I didn't realize that it impacted you up until recently. I thought, oh yeah, like Tim's just back in it, like he's all good now, kind of thing. So, but
Yeah.
hearing you talk about it, it does make sense that like that's something that you'd probably want to keep to yourself. You don't really want to show people unless they're like,
Nah, cause like you're in the gym, and like I see that people do look up to me, some of the younger ones as well. So I try not to show much emotion in there, you know. Just try. I don't know. Yeah.
and it probably also helped that you had like a strong support system. I think,
Yeah.
you know, I'm looking at Spring, I'm looking at River, Bark, everyone, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I feel like you do need to talk to people,
Yeah.
someone that you trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're craving a sweet treat or refreshing dessert, our longtime friends at Scoopy, Melbourne's favourite bingsu joint, are offering you lovely listeners a delicious 15% off your order when you use the code UA15. You can use this when you buy takeaway or in person at their Melbourne CBD and Gwen Waverley stores. The offer is subject to change, so be sure to tune into our episodes weekly for the fresh deal. Thanks so much, Scoopy. We appreciate y'all.
Generally, like with the whole fighting, everything amplifies. Like your will to win and all of that is because people are watching, and your performance, and then all of those feelings just amplifies way above 100. So you just push yourself through camp, through everything, just to like, I don't know, be as mentally strong as you can be for the actual event. But that's also the same after the fight. Like, because you take it to such a high, we were talking about this, I think, over the holiday. Because of the adrenaline, because we take it so high, the calm down is just as bad. Is if not, even if you win, because like, I'd won my last fight, but I had the exact same feelings as he did because my face was broken. I had to take like 2 weeks off. I sat in my room for a good week, like blinds were down, everything. Just like the feeling of worthlessness also afterwards also hits you like a brick. But because you're surrounded by people who have also gone through the same thing, it's just like every day you just have to not necessarily pick yourself back up, but there are people around you supporting you. Yeah, just know exactly what you're going through.
No, that makes sense. And I think also you spoke a bit about like being surrounded by like-minded people, and I think that's like why going to the gym is like also enjoyable, because you are surrounded by people who like understand what it's like, you know. Well, maybe I don't really understand what it's like to be bashed or like, you know, win or lose, that type of thing. But I think to a certain extent we do understand and can like empathize with you, because when you lose, like it feels like we lose too, or like when you win, we feel like we win as well. So I think, definitely the community aspect is like really something that I love about the gym. And also, like, for the record, everyone was saying that was the fight of the night, even though like you lost or whatever. Like that was the fight of the night, because like I think you bring the crowd. Everyone in the crowd was just cheering for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Like generally, I think like being part of the gym and the community, like you can just relate to the struggle, and everyone has like a limit to how much they will struggle. And then you look at fighters especially, and they will put themselves through hell to get themselves ready for a fight, and then people have a limit to how much they can push themselves. And then like I used to watch, like especially when I began, I look at fighters, I'm like, damn, they're doing above and beyond, and like I can barely get through an hour of class. And then over time you slowly become that person. But I think you just relate to the struggle of what they're doing, and then you can just only show compassion for that.
sounds like, because like there's so many ups and downs, isn't there? Spring, I think you spoke a bit before about how like there's a lot of confrontation involved with like Muay Thai, and like you're confronting another person, but I think also it's kind of like you're holding a mirror up where you're confronting yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like not only physically, because at most Muay Thai gyms there's like a mirror where you watch yourself. You know, if you're doing like shadow boxing or whatever, but also like like mentally, right? And so I guess especially for females, I saw like this like reel or TikTok that was about why females should get into sparring more often, because apparently like it's not as common. I know it's different for different gyms, but I found that like pretty inspiring, and I was just wondering, like, for yourself as like a female fighter, you know, what would you say for other females wanting to get into Muay Thai? Like, what tips have helped you build your confidence along the way, even though it's still a journey for you?
Yeah. I think generally, like, the huge difference I've noticed, like when I'm with female practitioners or like male practitioners, females aren't so comfortable with that confrontation bit. Just I think generally in life, we're kind of expected, definitely from like an Asian upbringing, to be more demure, to be more like quiet, don't speak your mind, don't take up too much space, you know, don't be too loud, and definitely don't confront people. So yeah, and then in Muay Thai, you're expected to be able to do the opposite of that, like stand your ground. If you're not comfortable with something, like I think when I first met River, like I just kept moving backwards, like in sparring. I think that's kind of like a reflection of my personality and like just the things I needed to work on. Like instead of being comfortable standing right here and trading with someone, like I would rather go back and like would rather be moving away from the situation. And I say, like, I think if you're starting out and you're noticing these things, I just take note of them. Like as for me, like that's what I did when I was starting Muay Thai and just dealing with all these things that come up in training. Like they'll be upsetting emotionally sometimes, you know, when I feel like I was weak. I was kind of feeling like I can't defend myself, I can't stand my ground, I'm not strong. And just try and take away at those things as time goes on. Like I personally like to kind of give drills and games like in my classes for the girls. Like a lot of girls don't like it when, for example, like I do this, or like I kind of get into your personal space. But in Muay Thai, you need it to be in someone's space and be comfortable kind of exerting yourself or asserting yourself towards someone. So we try and play games where you have to be really close to each other and make that a positive experience. Because if you're always kind of reinforcing it's a negative feeling, a negative emotion with this act or like this kind of activity, it's not going to have a positive outcome. So I think just trying to positively reinforce whenever you can in regards to overcoming like certain fears that you may have. Yeah.
I love that. I have
that
not.
Made sense.
No, that makes so much sense. No, I think you're a huge inspiration to a lot of girls, me included.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's awesome to watch you like. Woo! Let's give a bit of a clap. Yeah.
Go Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Told
No.
you. Athlete.
But like you can kind of relate, right? Like let's say Tiana
course.
comes in and I see her partner with this huge guy and he's just kicking out of control. Like I would be overwhelmed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're holding pads and
100%,
someone's
100%.
hitting you and you're hitting yourself as you like holding the pads.
Yeah.
It's not a really nice experience.
Oh my god, it's so funny because I get injured just by holding pads. Like it's like before, River's like, "Do you get injured?" And I'm like, I bruise so easily. Like I remember I was holding pads for someone, and the pad was like, like pinching my skin, and I came home and I had all these bruises on my arm. I'm like, oh my gosh. And like when I see my friends, like, oh my god, Tiana, you must have been going really hard, right? And I just let them believe that because actually, the truth is, holding pads is an art in itself.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Yeah,
for
it
sure.
definitely is.
Yeah.
Especially like in a gym where I think what's really cool about Sakari is that like this is not an ad for Sakari, by the way. But it's like there's a lot of mixed people, like of all backgrounds, of all like shapes and sizes. And what that might mean is that I'm up against like this really, you know, big dude. So, yeah. And it's funny because like there's a lot of different, I think when you're partnered with certain people, like when you're partnered with girls, I feel like they're a bit more like, oh, they get it. So they know how to like kind of take it a bit more easy. We partner with guys, they go really hard at the beginning and then they're like, oh shit, are you all right? Because I've flown across the room and I'm like, does it look like I'm all right? I'm kidding. But yeah, I think definitely it is a big thing with confidence. And it's a good point that you made before about how, especially as an Asian female, yes, you are taught to be very like, you know, timid, docile, don't really speak up or get aggressive or whatever. So I think it's a huge mindset shift as well, especially when you're in the gym. But I think it's also really nice to feel that progress. when you're in the gym, and how like day by day you might be getting a little bit more mentally strong or a little bit more physically strong. And yeah, I remember when I think I was like, maybe I've only been doing it for like 6 months and maybe twice a week or whatever, so not as much as you guys. But as a newbie, like I remember I feel like it was maybe month 1 or month 2 when I was doing it, and I would get so like I would negative. I would like talk to myself very negatively. I'd be like, far out, Tiana, like, how can you not know how to pivot your kick by now? Like, are you serious? And I still don't really know how to do it, but I'm learning. I'll get there one day. But I would get so annoyed at myself. I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, you know, how embarrassing that like every single time someone has to like be like, Tiana, you got to do this a bit more. You got to do that a bit more. And I would just like talk really negatively to myself. And then I had to stop myself and realize like, okay, I'm on my own journey. Everyone's on their own journey. Like, eventually I'll get there, maybe a bit slower than other people, but at least I'm giving it a go. Like, at least I'm rocking up. At least I'm like, do you know what I mean? So
Like, I'm still trying to work out how to knee. Like, we were just working on it yesterday.
what's that?
Like, I still don't know how to knee properly.
Oh,
like,
really?
and like my kicks are not great either. Like,
I
so
think they're awesome.
no, like, so I think you're always gonna have those same like
Yeah.
self,
I think-
you know.
I think you guys gotta speak a bit more positive.
Yeah,
to
that's what
Yeah.
they told me on the
to
trip.
yourself.
Like,
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
Some people it's different because like I can say negative things about myself, but then it kind of drives me even more. Whereas others thrive on positive reinforcement. I kind of thrive. I can thrive on both. Like,
Just
I'm
someone
just-
talk to me.
Right.
Tell me
Like-
things.
like
Negative,
I'm-
positive, as long as
I
someone's talking, I'm good.
I think I'm used to because like I got an older brother
Yeah,
that like
yeah.
bullies the shit out of me, and I just grew up, you know, being bullied by my brother and stuff, and I'm just like used to that. Like, I'll prove you wrong and all that, you know, and it kind of drives me a bit more. But like I find like that doesn't work in the gym when you talk down on some people. Yeah.
did you figure?
Good
but,
growth, bro. Excellent growth.
I'll show you.
yeah. So like, yeah, I think like, yeah, certain people just got to speak more positive about yourself. Just, you know, I don't know, just so you can feel better. I
You
don't
know what I found really useful? Like, I found like strangely, because I'm also a single child, so I've had very little like human interactions growing up.
No one's talking to the ring. No
Why-
positive, no negative.
So like I found that being around the gym and like being around different like strong personalities and like by osmosis being around them,
Yeah.
it kind of rubs off on you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like being around Tim, for example, like I'm like, yeah, you know, I punch harder. And like being around River, and he's pretty crazy in the back room before his fights and stuff. Like, and all that kind of like rubs off on me. And definitely being at Fairtex around people and just the conversations they have about Muay Thai, and like they love fighting, they love hitting people, like. But for me, I think being around groups of people like strong personalities helps me a lot. Just almost like shows me a different way of being rather than just something that I'm so used to just being myself, you know? Like, yeah.
Because it's like, if you're constantly, I guess, talking negatively, that's actually so true. Like, when I feel everyone's just saying a lot of truths today. But every single time without fail, when I enter, like, okay, sometimes I might be like, oh my gosh, don't know if I can be bothered today. But every single time without fail, after every class, I feel really good about myself. Because I'm like, oh my God, Tiana, hello. Without fail. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, girl,
I'm just giving you my
yes,
support.
you drove 20 minutes to the gym, you got out, you got in there, you know, you worked up a sweat. Like, you should be proud of yourself. So yeah, definitely trying to do that a bit more often.
That's a
That's
win.
it.
People don't understand how much of a win that is just to get to the gym.
Yeah.
That is such a win.
It is.
Yeah,
It
It
is.
is a battle. Every day it's a battle.
Yeah. And I think that's why I wanted to join like a like do boxing or something like that, because I mean, for me, last year when I was going to the gym, like, it was like sometimes I just lost motivation. Especially, it's so easy, right? Because you're like, oh, you have a membership, but it's not like, unless you go with friends and people that constantly push you, which is I think what you were saying, like, you surround yourself with good people where you feed off of their energy, and I guess their discipline as well. like unless you have that, it's actually very easy to fall off and not feel motivated to keep going. So I love that I always have something to look forward to.
Yeah, especially the community for the gym. Yeah, 'cause like going to the gym by yourself is really hard. Yeah, but like everyone just keeps you accountable. Plus, like you just become friends with everybody. So you just want to see your friends. It just becomes its own community.
Yeah, for sure. You know, whilst you're elbowing, you're like, "Hey, how are you?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how's it
Yes.
going?" Yeah. Okay, awesome. So, what advice would you have for someone that's like completely new that wants to give Muay Thai a go? Like anyone listening that might be hesitant, because I think I've had a few people that I've tried to like bait to join, or you know, and there was those misconceptions that we spoke about before where they're like, oh, it looks a bit too intense, it looks a bit too hard or whatever. Or okay, let's just say there was a teleportation machine, and you could travel back in time to your younger self before your younger self started Muay Thai. What would you say, what would be some like tips that you've learned now that you would teach them?
Oh, discipline. Like a
Like
lot
what?
of you learn a lot of discipline in Muay Thai. Like obviously you have to cut weight and all that. That's just like all the dieting. I find dieting the hardest thing ever.
Or actually, what out of you three, who's the most likely to break their diet?
I don't know. Definitely not me.
Break the diet.
Break
Yeah.
the diet.
Break
Oh,
the
yeah,
diet.
yeah, yeah.
River, for sure.
Don't break the not,
Yeah.
don't
Oh, yeah.
diet.
Yeah. River doesn't diet.
Diet.
I have to diet because I'm just a bit too pudge.
I know Tim takes his diet really seriously.
Yeah. That's why he only drinks seltzers, guys.
What? Nothing wrong with seltzers.
So I remember after his last fight, I was like, you know what? I might buy, you know, Tim a drink just to cheer him up a bit, get him like, you know, high spirits again. And here I am thinking, yep, we'll take a shot of tequila or something. We're at the bar. He goes, oh, can I please get a mango seltzer?
What is that?
It's like,
It's a low calorie alcoholic drink.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Well, I've just been smacked in the head. You know,
You shouldn't be drinking.
I didn't
after
want
your
any
fight.
more brain damage than it already
Right,
is.
so it's way the carbs.
And I was just looking at, too much carbs. Tequila is pretty low calorie, no?
Yeah.
just a, you know,
True.
sure.
Advice to my younger self, I would say, just go, because the hardest part is actually going for the first time. And whatever's in your head, all that fear, is actually not true. So to believe what's actually in your head and not go is only stopping you from trying something new. So I would say that to my old self. Try and then try more things.
See.
Your turn, Tim. What would
Goes
you
to
tell
Peru
your-
once and he's like,
Right.
he's
Sí.
always like,
Buenos
"Sí."
dias.
Muy bien.
Hola.
Haven't I
Me?
said it? Did
Did you say
something?
it? You said
I did.
discipline and food.
Definitely discipline.
Okay. What would I tell my younger self? Well, I want to say it gets better, but like it kind of gets better, but it doesn't at the same time, you know?
It does get better. For anyone who wants to start, it does get better.
Words.
Definitely gets better.
It definitely gets better. And you don't get smashed and not every fight's a fight. You don't fight at all.
But I found the starting was the most fun because that's when you're learning the quickest.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
yeah.
you're developing
Improving
real quick,
really
and you
quickly.
see results
Mm.
quick.
Okay, some more than others.
No, it took me a very long time. It took me like 2 years for me to actually start getting, like, understanding how the body works, like how to control your hips and stuff. All that.
When did you know though that like, oh, I'm actually pretty good at this?
I think just when my coach told me, it's like, it was like one of my old coaches from Yoshin.
Yeah.
It was just like, just one day you just clicked. Everything just started falling, like just all the pieces started connecting. Like
That's cool.
you just
That's
started,
sweet.
yeah,
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
out of nowhere. I'm like, I didn't even realize. I just
Yeah.
kept doing it, and then he was like, yeah.
I never wanted to fight, and then my trainer was like, "You should do it." And then, yeah, I did like an interclub. I was like, I'll give it a shot. And then I did another one, and did another one. Not until like my 6th professional fight did I realize I actually enjoy doing this. Yeah, the first two. First one was I was at China bar with my friends. They're like, "Oh, we fought this guy in Interclub. You should fight this guy." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll try. I'll try." And then the second one and the third one, it was just more like, "Hey, you want to do it? It's in like 6 weeks. You could probably do it. I got nothing else to do, so okay, I'll do it." And then, yeah, 6 fights in, did I realize maybe I should, knuckle down a bit.
What about you? Spring?
Well, I don't know. I think I just took it really seriously because I always was so scared that I was gonna just evaporate like when I got hit. Like,
What a strong punch that would be.
like I just was like so scared of the whole thing. I was scared of the confrontation, scared of getting hit, scared that my shins were gonna break. Like, just yeah, that I just kept pushing myself to be like, do more, do more, do more. Yeah, that's about it really. Just more kind of like to prove to myself that I could do it. And continue to do that every day. I think. Yeah.
And I guess, like, what is next for you guys from a, Muay Thai perspective? River, you kind of spoke about you're going to Thailand soon. So what does that involve?
So I'll be fighting again, probably December, late December to early January, on one championship, one Lumpini again. And yeah, I leave on Monday to get training, go back to Thailand, and yeah, just do another camp, live that life one more time, and then we'll just see from there.
Yeah. Wait, so they sponsor you to go?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cool. So it's like a job.
It's a job.
Yeah.
It feels like a job.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I fly over, so they don't pay for my flights, but as soon as I'm there, they pay for everything, like my accommodation, my food, and my training. The expectation is just, they even
Yeah, it'd wake me up, and my mum would open the door and he'd just pull the blankets off my my bed. And like, let's go, man. Let's run. Come on, man.
That's a full
That's
Rocky
a
movie, man.
dedicated
like,
trainer.
That scarred
yeah.
me. I'm like, man, I hate running.
Wait, what time? What time was this?
It's like 8 o'clock in the morning, but
Oh.
like I was still in high school, and so I was like, you want to sleep in till
Yeah.
like 10 or something, you know. But now I'm just like, I wake up early all the time now. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to with your job, right?
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
Oh, me? What's the question?
What do you?
You forgot your
You
amazing
made the
question. What's the
my
biggest
old
difference?
self and
You thought that was the question, not the
Yeah.
answer.
Thought about the question. Dude, I'm living my dream. Yeah, I mean, I wish for this for so long when I started, and now I'm here. I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. Yeah. No. Yeah, there you go. Your turn.
Biggest difference, like before I started now.
Mm.
I do feel myself like growing more confident. Like I think like as a kid I was never very like athletic, which is I know surprising to you guys. I do look like an athlete.
You do look like an athlete. What are you looking at me for?
No, I wasn't. I was scratching my eye.
But you know, I've never really found that thing that you know, I wanna continue and I wanna do. But I'm actually quite proud of myself that I've been able to be somewhat consistent with Muay Thai. So I do feel more confident, and I'm excited to see how much more confident I get.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
yeah.
cool.
Beautiful.
That's really cool.
Beautiful, right?
Beautiful.
Well, okay,
Muy
now.
bien.
Muy bien.
Muy bien.
All right, moving on to our fun section. If I know you're excited about this one.
I am.
I want to learn about so we've spoken a lot about Muay Thai, but I want to learn more about your friendship. So tell me about like, you know, when did you guys meet? What are some fun memories you have together? Any stories to tell?
Just get like flashbacks of me getting hit by them. Like, oh, so fun.
Honestly, don't remember when.
Wow.
I don't know.
Thanks, Tim.
I remember we were sparring.
Yeah.
What was your first impressions?
We dress the same.
No, we don't. Oh, you two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were really cool. Spring, you too. I think you're cool.
Aw.
I really don't remember when I
Oh,
met.
we'll circle back.
Did
to
I
you.
meet River through you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, River through me, but then we were
Yes.
friends somehow. I don't know how we were friends.
I think 'cause you invited me to go spar.
But what, like, how were we friends though? I remember Tim being really strong. It really hurt to spar Tim. Like, my face hurt.
Did I hit you that
Um,
hard? I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
bro. You hit me hard all the time. What are you talking about? Anyway, moving on. And then River was really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, like with his name. And we met in the sparring. He was doing all this fancy stuff, like jumping knees to my face and stuff.
I
And
wasn't.
like,
the
and
hell?
I was like, wow, okay, cool.
She's like, wow.
What do you mean?
Yeah. No, it was like really random because I wanted River to meet one of my other training partners, and I was hoping that they would become training partners. But then we ended up becoming friends. And then I think Tim and I just lived like around each other. And during COVID, we were catching up a lot and training in the parks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
like we
yeah.
just stayed close after. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you remember your first, like, what you thought of Spring and River?
I want to hear this.
Spring.
I'm scared.
Spring.
Now, I like, by the way, I asked them, like, what their dynamic is like. And poor Spring always gets roasted by Tim and
He's
River.
holding back. He's holding back because he's like on a podcast. He's trying to find something nice to
No,
say.
I thought you were a very lovely person. Like, when I first met you, you're joyful and stuff. I'm like, she's too happy. She's too happy to be getting hit in the face.
Wow.
No, I thought you were all cool. Like, I don't remember first time sparring you.
I don't remember meeting you.
I don't remember meeting. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we just
I like-
mesh.
Just meshed
Mesh.
and then started training and then somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
I think, well,
Now
River.
we just pick on Spring.
Yeah,
Pretty
now you
much.
guys just get along picking on me. Yeah, because me and Tim used to train all the time, and then me, Tim, back all the time. At least once a week, because we're all from different gyms back in the day. And then River eventually met Tim, and they just like hit it off. and became best friends. And yeah,
Very cute. What memories do you have together, or like any funny stories?
Offspring.
I'm starting to see the roasting coming out.
what funny
I
stories?
remember
Tim?
first time. I don't know. I think we were just like talking about food, and I'm like talking about these noodles. Vermicelli. You can ask her how she pronounced it
I
at
think
first.
it's vermicelli.
Vermicelli. She pronounced vermicelli vermicelli.
And what'd you do? Did you tease her?
I definitely.
Well, I still thought it was vermicelli.
And recently in Peru, going shopping, department store. Yeah. Do you know what a department store is? Do you know what she calls it? A departmental store.
Oh no,
I
Spring.
swear I'm good at English. I was really good
You
at
are.
school.
You're very good.
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And it's my first language, everyone, okay? Not my second language.
So we always pick on Spring and be like, Spring, luckily it's your second language. And then she goes, it's my first language. I'm like, it's not helping you today.
What memories do you have?
Of them? Really, the standout one to me is just me getting hit by them. That's all. But I mean, like Tim's got really strong punches, so like used to hurt me all the time. But you know, it was good. Really good head conditioning, I think. And River, like one fight camp, I think River hit me so hard that I had my blood done.
What the hell?
No, wait.
Hit me so hard. I got my blood done.
And
I got my blood done.
No. Like you know how you have to get your bloods done for your fights, right? And then they came back with like some weird, like something was wrong, and they're like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with you, and I'm like, nothing's wrong with me, and then it turns out that I had like a bit of bruising because you're hitting me so hard in the body shot.
What
But
do you mean?
No, I appreciate it. I really think that you
Wow.
guys made me stronger. Oh, funny story. Apparently, I'm really good at like walking in altitude compared to them. Who would have thought?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No, Spring's really good at explaining things.
She is. She's very good.
She's very good
she's
at
the best at
best.
explaining things.
Oh no,
She's
why?
the
Why
best.
did you blink your face like
She's
that?
the
Yeah.
best at describing something
Terrible.
in a really negative way.
No,
Is it condescending?
It's not. It's not.
Like what?
Like
Like what? Give me
so.
an example. Give me an example. Give me an example.
I don't think she sees it
She
as
doesn't see-
condescending.
And if you didn't know her, it would just come off like a bit strange. But because we know her, it's funny.
It's very funny.
Like what? Give me an example. Paint the picture. Your Spring.
Should I do- Spring.
Can I be the one? Which one in our
Uh,
hotel?
And they didn't even stop me. They just let me
Yes.
keep
I'll
going.
be the
Yes,
lady.
yes,
I'll be
yes.
the lady. No,
No, do we do the hike one?
no, I'll be the lady. Like, did you
Oh,
go
cool.
Rainbow? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
like,
No,
like we
Okay,
just came
okay.
back from.
All right, we're gonna role play now. All right, prepare for the
so
acting
I'm
experience of
having
your lifetime.
Being really nice.
You know, we come back. Oh, did you guys just come back from like Rainbow or like Humantai? What hikes did you guys do? And what do you recommend?
Oh, yeah. So we just did Rainbow Mountain. Oh my god, it was really hard. So you have to prepare for every weather condition.
That's true.
You have to prepare for the sun. Make sure you wear 50 proof SPF sunscreen because it gets really hot at the top. Also, because of the sun, when you get to the top, because it's 5,000 meters, it's actually the same equivalent level of base camp of Everest. So you get to the highest point. You get to the highest point. It gets really, really cold up there because you're around the glaciers, but it's amazing view. But it gets really cold, and also wear the sunscreen. Probably wear a hat. It's an 8-kilometer hike. Isn't too bad because the walk is kind of gradual, but if you need, you can use the donkeys, but we don't like it if you use the donkeys because I think it's animal cruelty. But also when you get to the almost to the peak, the donkeys stop, so you still have to walk up like something like this. Also, when you come back, we were really dehydrated, so make sure you bring a lot of water. We didn't drink any, so when we got to the car, we almost passed out for 2 hours. But just be careful because of the bus ride. The bus ride is actually 4 hours to get there and also 4 hours back. It's okay because we get a bit of a stop, but it was a really, really enjoyable experience.
Did you not appreciate all the details?
Like it was really, really good.
Like,
yeah.
I was worried for her. I was like, you might get sunstroke because I almost got sunstroke. You might get dehydrated because I also almost got dehydrated. And it's really cold up there because I was freezing.
I don't think they ever went.
They were so.
I swear,
they were
like we're walking
"Whoa."
around, we saw him in the city. Like they're like, oh, we got like a couple of days more here to go, and then we just saw him walking around the city.
the
I was trying to give her the best prep possible.
Okay, so then we had this conversation afterwards with Spring. We're like, Spring, you just need to give small detail, not all the detail.
Oh, so you actually told like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after.
because I walked away and then they were like, that was terrible.
They were like,
which
"Spring,
bit?
your people skills.
Yeah, I was like, which bit was bad? They're like, all of it.
Just like it was really good.
Spring's like, wait, which part did I miss?
Yeah, I was like, that's what I thought. I was like, what did I miss? I told her everything, right? Like,
Yeah.
did I not tell her everything?
Oh, but you know, she's just trying to give
It was
details.
the best. It was the
Yeah.
best. So then we prepped her for the next time. We're
Yeah, I
like,
was
okay, next
prepared.
time, next time you just have to tell her it's really good. It can be quite difficult, but it's extremely rewarding. Okay, good. We go on a hike, the Machu Picchu hike,
Oh, God.
and then so the ones in our group, they decided to go earlier because day 2 was extremely hard, and they're like, okay, just to get a head start so that you don't have to keep up with us, we'll leave an hour and a half earlier. All right? They're like, cool, fantastic. we're walking. Spring.
It sounds bad when you say it like that, but like, yeah.
Spring, she's a phenomenal walker. A mountain
Who would have
goat.
thought?
We just nicknamed her the mountain goat because at high altitude, she was just blitzing ahead of everybody. She ended up being the team captain and was just carrying us through.
I
What-
wasn't expecting that, but yeah, I was a bit faster than everyone.
So
I know exactly why you were faster.
the girls are walking for an hour and a half up this difficult incline, and we're walking. Spring walks past like, "Hi girls, how you going? See, I'm trying to be really positive. Hi girls, how you going? You doing
Yeah,
really well?
see?
Yeah, really good. How long you been walking for? We've been walking for 20 minutes. You guys keep going." And blitzes off. We walk
Was
past.
that bad? I don't think it was bad.
We walk past. I'm like, "How long you guys been for?" An hour and a half. Like, oh, Spring. Yeah, you guys are doing really, really good. Blitzes up.
Well, I think like they asked me a question. They said, how long you been walking for? And I looked at I was like, 20 minutes. And they're like, oh. I was like, okay, bye. And I just kept going. And then later on, they were like, that was terrible. I'm like, what did you want me to say? Like, I was trying to be positive. I was like,
Spring is just like she's you know what? She's not really doing anything harmful. She's just trying to, you know, she's just answering the question.
that's what I mean.
She's answering the question in her own way, but you guys like actually.
So then, like, I just didn't want to answer anymore because later on, I just let Tim do it. Someone asked me a question. I'm like,
Did you guys get annoyed at each other on the trip?
I
No.
reckon
No.
Spring got annoyed at me.
at you?
Yeah.
Nah,
No?
it was
Not
good.
about the water bottle?
Oh, you would like he was really teasing me because he had to carry my water bottle because it didn't fit in the bag, and he just would not let that like.
The 2.5
Okay,
liter water
so
bottle.
it was a little bit big, and
Explain why you didn't want to drink the water.
I didn't want to drink the water because there was no pee stops along the way, and I didn't want to pee in the bush.
She
So I
filled
did
it
it.
to the top.
So Tim's got this extra 2.5 liter on
I
her
got
back,
this extra 2.5.
and it's for no reason because you didn't drink it anyway.
She didn't
I
do
was just more like just in case. Because,
Spring, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe in that scenario, I
just
can't
in
back you.
case. Just in case though, like what if we got stuck in the mountain, and then what if we got really thirsty? And also, River needed my water at some times.
I started drinking it because
And
I
so
felt
it
bad
too.
for Tim.
Thanks for that.
Well, I did sip a little bit.
Oh, so day two,
Day 2 was hard.
Machu Picchu. Everyone was telling us it was extremely difficult. Really, really difficult.
And Spring would tell everyone it's extra difficult.
She was mentally preparing herself 5 days ahead of it. Well, you know, it's gonna be the most difficult thing ever. It's gonna be, oh my god, guys, we need to be prepared. Okay, get my sunscreen. This, that. Like, we've done 2 hikes already, and we did extremely well. Tim and I were like, I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be fine. No. It's gonna be really, really hard. All right. Okay. We get to day 2. She's like 2 kilometers ahead of us. Are you guys okay? Do we need to stop? Are you sure? Oh no, it's okay. Keep going. Okay.
And you'll see the videos. It's just her at the front. It's just us 2. So all the videos is us just like trying to like walk up the stairs. And it's like, you guys all right? Thumbs up. Do you guys want a photo? No.
Well, he said be more positive. So I tried to him. I'm like, you guys good? You want to take photos? And everyone's like, no, Spring. I was like, okay. All right then. and keep walking.
Actually, Spring, I feel like you have that vibe though. You're always very
oh my God,
positive.
thank you.
Very bubbly.
Like we
Yeah.
walk, like some people were extra positive on the walk though. Like someone was dying like on the side, and we're walking past, and she's like, "You're stronger than you think you are." And then he was like, he full stopped. He's like, "Wow, thank you."
On to you.
Yeah.
To Tim.
Yeah,
Oh.
but she was dying. She was like on the side, and Tim's like, "Hello," and Tim's just walking. He's like, "You're stronger than you think you are," and Tim's like, "I am."
It's the little things, you know.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why can't you be more like that?" I'm like, "Oh, I can try." No, I honestly thought I was gonna struggle. Like I was so worried because he was giving me a hard time too. He's like, "I've been on the Stairmaster every day, Spring. What have you been doing?" To I was like, "Nothing." He's like, "You're gonna."
And she ended up
die."
being better than you.
She absolutely killed
Oh.
it.
I was
Man.
pissed.
Yeah, mate. So now we have this thing. Spring, you want to ask for next year?
Oh, we're going to Everest?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. After
Crazy.
that trip, Spring's like, we should go to Everest because we just hit base camp. And Timmy and I are looking at each other like, are you serious? Can we just like, sit on the beach for a second?
Yeah.
But we've been asking everybody. So would you like to come to Everest?
Yeah, I'll come to Everest.
Yeah, you should go to Everest. We're just going to base camp. We're not going to the summit. Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
How
yeah,
far
yeah.
is? Do you know how far?
It's like,
I think it's
oh, it's bad. It's like 3,000.
It's
I mean, in the most positive way, we should not go to the summit underprepared, just because a lot of people die when they go to the summit. So that's why we should just go to base camp because it's lower risk and nobody would die.
If okay, let's say, knock on wood. We're hiking up Everest, and we can only 3 of us can actually continue. Or actually, no, I'll cut myself out of this, because it'll obviously be me. But out of you 3, okay, who do you think is falling behind? River.
River.
Who's
River.
at the top? Spring.
3.
He did pretty well on some of the hikes, but his blood oxygen level was not as
Might
good.
got
Shocking.
better.
It got better as time goes on, yeah, but he.
Can you take anything for it or no?
For oxygen levels?
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, can you bring anything up?
There
or
is
no?
oxygen.
You can
There's
bring
little-
oxygen
Altitude
tanks.
sick
Yeah. because your head's blocking it. I was like,
You can Photoshop it in, surely.
but we had a stamp, so yeah, it's proof.
We do have a stamp.
We have a stamp.
What do you mean
Yeah.
stamp? Like photo
You
stamp?
can stamp your passport.
Yeah, they stamp
Oh,
your passport.
cool.
And then we stamped both, like 2 of the 3 hikes that we did. And then we get to our last hike and find out that it's illegal to stamp your passport with stamps that without the
Government approved.
government
Yeah.
approval. And
Mm.
we were just like, oh, yeah, okay. And
Oh,
now
well.
I've just put that on
too late.
YouTube.
It's alright. I'm proud of it.
Okay, well, I think it's almost 2 hours, so maybe we should wrap up soon. But before we do, did you guys want to shout out any, I guess, any of your social handles or anything like that? Any codes to use with Primo?
What?
Yeah, Tim, you can shout at your
I ain't
social
shouted
handle.
out no primo.
Team Primo. This is Machi, and you can get 10% off if you use Machi10 at checkout.
Where can people find you if they want to follow your journey?
Instagram. Just search up my name, River Daz.
Tim Tam 99. This is him.
Tim_Tam99.
Was that your nickname growing up, Tim? Or you just thought it was funny?
Yeah, it was Tim Tam, actually. People did call me Tim Tam. I was bullied a lot.
What about you, Spring?
Springs here, just for regular stuff and like Machi things. And then Heart Muay Thai for my coaching page.
And you also have a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, YouTube Springs here.
Yeah, awesome. And I guess before we wrap up, let's also give some love to Sakari as well.
Yeah.
Woo! So if you guys want to start Muay Thai, you can catch our sweaty smiley faces at Sakari, which is in Preston. Give him some love on Instagram as well. But shout out Buck and Caroline. Woo! Well, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate you guys coming
Thanks for having us.
down.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
I
you.
had a lot of fun getting to know you more and also just like learning about your journey. I think it's all very, very inspiring. And also thank you guys at home for listening as well and tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I enjoyed having it. If you liked what you listened to, you can follow or subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform. Leave us a rating or review. That really helps us and supports us. You can also find us on social media. You can follow us at unapologeticallyazn. I'm on Instagram and we're on TikTok as well, Unapologetically Asian. I'm also on YouTube as well, Unapologetically Asian podcast. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely day, night, wherever you are in the world. Sending love and good vibes. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Woo.